This is the story of a man whose name has become synonymous with the future. A story about how a boy who was bullied in school transformed into an architect of a reality that, before him, existed only on the pages of science fiction. Elon Musk is not just the richest person on the planet. He is a phenomenon that forces us to rethink the boundaries of the possible. His early years were not a fairy tale of a child prodigy. Elon Musk was born during the apartheid era in South Africa, into a family filled with tension. His father, Elon Musk, was a brilliant but difficult engineer, the type who might buy an emerald mine on a whim, yet emotionally distant. His mother, May Musk, was a strong and determined model who, however, left the family when Elon was 8. His choice to live with his father, as he later admitted, was more a logical decision based on perceived opportunities than an emotional one. School became a battlefield. For his love of books, his social awkwardness, and his inability to stay quiet when he thought an idea was stupid, Musk was subjected to brutal attacks. One incident became a turning point. He was thrown down a concrete staircase and beaten until he lost consciousness. A week in the hospital. But instead of breaking, he built an internal fortress. He was saved by Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Isaac Asimov's Foundation, books that dealt with grand ideas and the survival of civilizations. At age 12, he didn't just write the game Blaster. He created an entire universe, sold it, and understood a fundamental truth. Knowledge locked inside one's head is useless. It must be brought to life. At 17, he ran away. Not only from the bullying but from mandatory service in the apartheid army, which he considered immoral. With his Canadian grandmother's passport, he flew into the unknown, beginning his personal project of salvation, first of himself, and later, as he believed, of all humanity. His education was strategic. Queen's University in Canada was a springboard. The University of Pennsylvania in the USA became the forge of his method. He earned not one, but 2 bachelor's degrees. In physics and in economics. This was no accident. Physics gave him his primary tool, first principles reasoning. Not to compare with analogs, rockets have always been expensive, but to deconstruct a problem to its fundamental physical truths, cost of materials, cost of assembly, and build a solution from the ground up. Economics taught him how this physical reality interacts with human incentives and markets. Stanford in 1995 was supposed to be where he delved into condensed matter physics and materials for batteries. But he stayed only 48 hours. The internet was exploding. He saw in it not an information superhighway, but the nervous system of a future civilization. And he decided his place was not in a library, but at the epicenter of that explosion. His brother Kimball, his loyal ally, supported him. They sold everything they had and plunged into the world of startups. The company Zip2, founded in 1995, was an agonizing and ingenious failure. They tried to sell newspapers on the idea of online yellow pages with maps. Clients didn't understand why they needed it. The brothers lived in their rented office, showering at the gym. Elon slept on the floor next to his desk. His fanatical devotion to work, he could code for 24 hours straight, and complete absence of a personal life became his hallmark. When Compaq bought Zip2 in 1999 for $307 million, the 27-year-old Musk suddenly became a millionaire with $22 million in his pocket. But instead of resting, he immediately challenged the most conservative industry, banking. X.com was his baby, the embodiment of the idea that money is just information that can be transferred instantly and without fees. His aggressive marketing, giving away money for signing up, and relentless drive shocked Wall Street. The merger with Confinity and the creation of PayPal was a marriage of convenience that turned into a civil war. Musk lost the battle for the CEO position during his honeymoon when engineers loyal to Peter Thiel staged a palace coup. But he won the war. His original vision became the foundation of the company. When eBay bought PayPal in 2002 for $1.5 billion, Musk received $180 million. Now he had the war chest for his real battles. In 2002, he founded SpaceX with a mission everyone considered insane: to make humanity a multiplanetary species, starting with Mars. He invested $100 million. The first 3 launches of the Falcon 1 rocket ended in fireballs over the Pacific Ocean. By 2008, amid the global financial crisis, the company had money for one last attempt. The successful 4th launch on September 28, 2008, saved SpaceX from extinction. A few weeks later, NASA, seeing in him an innovative partner, signed a $1.6 billion contract to deliver cargo to the International Space Station. Musk, by his own account, burst into tears. He joined Tesla in 2004 as an investor and chairman when the company was just an idea for an electric sports car. In 2008, when both Tesla and SpaceX were on the brink of collapse simultaneously, he invested his last $40 million of personal funds into Tesla and became its CEO. What followed were years of production hell. The launch of the Model 3 in 2017 became his personal Waterloo. He slept at the factory in a sleeping bag, personally inspecting every assembly line. His decision to build the tent, a giant temporary structure for an additional assembly line, became a symbol of his desperation and stubbornness. But it worked. His other ventures are no less ambitious. Solar City, solar energy, The Boring Company, fighting traffic with tunnels, Neuralink, brain-computer interface for symbiosis with AI, and OpenAI, creating safe AI, which he left in 2018 to focus on his companies. His management style is a mix of genius and tyranny. He is a nanomanager who can email hundreds of engineers at 3 a.m. about a valve specification. His inbox is open to any employee, but he won't hesitate to fire someone on the spot for insufficient dedication. His personal life is a series of public relationships, marriages, and 6 children. He speaks openly about his bipolar tendencies, loneliness, and how being CEO is not a job, it's pain. The purchase of Twitter, renamed X, for $44 billion in 2022 became his most controversial and personal project. It's not an investment, but an attempt to create a digital town square for a future civilization, despite the financial losses and storm of criticism. Critics see in him a reckless narcissist whose tweets manipulate markets and whose promises often outpace reality. Supporters see a modern Leonardo da Vinci or Nikola Tesla, a man who risks everything to push humanity out of its comfort zone. What drives him? Not money. Rather, an existential fear. The fear that humanity, having reached a technological singularity, will remain on one fragile planet and doom itself to extinction from a random asteroid, artificial intelligence, or its own hand. His mission is to create a backup for consciousness on Mars and in symbiosis with AI. Starship, his giant rocket for colonizing Mars, still explodes during tests. Tesla's autopilot is controversial. Neuralink implants chips into the brains of monkeys and humans. The future of his vision is not yet written. But one thing is already clear. Elon Musk has forced space agencies, auto giants, and energy corporations around the world to run 10 times faster. He has restored our ability to dream of an interplanetary future as a reality, not science fiction. He is living proof that one stubborn person, armed with physics, willpower, and a readiness to burn everything to the ground, can change the trajectory of an entire civilization. His story is the story of a future that is arriving today, with all its risks, wonders, and incredible cost. Thank you for being with us today. If you enjoyed it, please like and share this video with friends. See you in the next one.